welcome to the High School Star League Grand Finals. I'm your host, Avalie Broken Chopsticks May, coming to you from the Rowland Heights Community Center in California. For the next 2 days, we will be bringing you the best of the best in the high school scene for League of Legends, Hearthstone, and StarCraft 2. Our players have flown in from across the country to compete for a piece of the over $30,000 of scholarship funding. While today's matches will be exclusively streamed over our sponsor Twitch, Tuesdays and Wednesdays games will be open to spectators. So if you're in the LA area, go ahead and check out our website, hsstarleague.com, if you want information on our weekly schedule. And now we're going to kick it off with our Hearthstone semifinals. All right, so let's go ahead and meet our players. So this native Californian is a junior at South Torrance High School. His favorite subject is math, and his patron deck is nearly undefeated. Let's hear it for Killinallday. Awesome. How you feeling today?
Great.
Awesome. Okay, next up. He's a senior who loves playing music in his orchestra at Westwood High School. His favorite Hearthstone streamer is Calento, and he one day hopes to study business at the University of Texas. Come on out, Frankie! How are you doing today, Frankie?
Fabulous.
Awesome, fabulous. So you guys can go ahead and shake hands, say hi to each other. Awesome. And while our players go ahead and set up for their matches, we're going to shoot on over to the caster's desk with Bird and Joey.
All right, guys, thank you again, Avalie. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the final week of the HSL 2015, and it is Hearthstone time. I am Bird the Gia, going to be bringing the word with the Handlock Master, Joey. We are at the Final Four of the 2015 Hearthstone season, and these final players had to go through a grueling 64-man bracket. These finalists are fighting for the 4,000 grand prize, 2,000 for that first place. But Joey, really quickly, are you excited for matches?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of talent in this semifinals bracket, so I'm definitely looking forward to high-quality Hearthstone.
Definitely high-quality Hearthstone. And really quickly, what format are they playing today?
They're going to be playing in a Conquest format, so that's the new format as opposed to what was used last year, Last Hero Standing. So in the Conquest format, instead of keeping the deck that's winning, your deck can only win one time throughout a series. So an eventual series winner needs to complete a series with all 3 or 4 of their decks. Which is going to be 3 this time because it's a best of 5.
Definitely. And in the Conquest format, we'll see everything get eliminated to get that win. So before we get in the match, I want to thank all of our amazing sponsors again: Twitch, Newegg, MSI, Roccat, Jinx, Loot Crate, Tespa, and the LA County Parks and Recreation Division. We're here live at the Rowland Heights Community Center, and it's time to get in here. So let's get on to this first match between Frankie and Killinallday.
Absolutely. So yeah, Killinallday is going to be bringing Warrior, Hunter, and Mage. And Frankie going to be bringing Druid, Priest, and Warrior. So very interesting deck lineups from the both of them. As far as their Warrior is concerned, it's most likely going to be Grim Patron. Frankie bringing an interesting Priest lineup with the Knights 4 Priest, which is focused on a lot of stealing, apparently, and Mage. Not quite sure what Killinallday has in terms of his Mage, but we will definitely see. And
yeah, definitely. And Killinallday, if you want to know about these players, they're notably new players, right? But they are part of the Hearthstone scene, the NA scene. Killinallday, rank 1 in April. He was, during our show match, he actually reached that legendary rank. That is crazy. And on the other side, Frankie, rank 101. Not as bad, not as strong, but you know what? These two titans of California and Texas are going to be battling it down in just a few. Just wanted to talk about that deck choice. What do you think, which will be the first choices of their decks?
the first decks, well, Frankie's got the Druid, Priest, and Warrior. I think Warrior does well against all of these decks as far as Killinallday is concerned, so he may pick that one first. Frankie, on the other hand, may be anticipating this in return, and he may want to go for a mirror matchup, but we'll go ahead and find out. And Killinallday's got the advantage of home turf, so we'll see if he wants to, or if he's going to use that to his advantage. Frankie competing for national pride, I guess, coming from Texas.
National pride indeed. Again, if you guys didn't know, all these players have been flown out or, drove down. Some from Canada, some from Texas. But it looks like we're about to get into the game. It looks like Druid and Paladin.
So I hear Warrior from Killinallday, and it sounds like Priest, the light shall bring victory from Frankie. So he feels like his 9-4 Priest is going to do well. The 9-4 referring to the 9 spells and minions that actually steal things, like Mind Control, Cabal, Shadow Priest, Sylvanas, Windrunner, and the 4 referring to the 4 cards that steal actual cards.
Yeah, definitely, and it's going to be really interesting to see, as we do see the Game Lord actually going to be into play. Didn't see the mulligans, unfortunately, but Lesser Heal going to be brought out. The BM Lesser Heal, of course, right? Exactly.
The light shall burn you from the Priest.
And thank you for the Magnify on Beard. Again, so we have Patron Warrior, it looks like, for Killinallday. On the other hand, what are we seeing from this Priest?
Electing to armor up here on turn 3 rather than develop a weapon, wanting to keep his options open to either develop Deathbite or Fire or Axe, whatever is necessary if he has to.
Definitely, and it feels like we're going to see some moves come into play. But we'll see if this will work out. It looks like we are having some technical issues at the moment, so again, we're trying to get this on the road, but it's going to take just a little bit. Again, really appreciate everybody coming out, Twitch sponsorship and Twitch viewers right now. Hopefully you guys are getting some Kappas or some Frinkers. I like the Twitch emotes. What's your favorite Twitch emote?
My favorite Twitch emote definitely has to be, Ralph Z or Frank Z.
The Ralph Z, the dog of choosing Joey, as we are back in the game, actually. Can't see the hand right now for the Priest, but we did see
a Thought Steal come down from the Priest, and I'm not quite sure what was taken, but a No Mission Vendor is going to be played here on turn 4, yielding him a Slam, which is going to be good for cycling into those combo cards later.
Definitely, and as we can see more stuff can come into play, we'll see how it goes. No Mission Vendor, again, just drawing out for the Grim Patron Warrior. Could have been turned to develop Deathbite before that, but do you want to develop the Grim Patron a little bit earlier against Priest?
Generally very dangerous to develop a weapon without actually removing something, just because a lot of opponents are running weapon tech nowadays in anticipation for this matchup specifically, so there really is no reason to waste value in destroying face or anything like that. And a Slam going to cycle a card, and he draws a fire, or he uses the Fiery Wax to finish off the Sentient Shieldmaster. Going to go ahead and exert 3 more damage onto his opponent, putting his opponent at 25.
Yeah, definitely, and as we do see the draw coming up, it is Powered Shield for the Priest. Right now, it doesn't have too many good things. Could go for the Harrison Jones to draw out a card, but it's pretty much already at a full hand size. So what's the play for the Priest right now, Frankie?
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. He did steal that Warsong Commander and the Whirlwind, so he knows that Warsong Commander, at least one of them still in the deck.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, he's got a Northside Cleric and a Power Word Shield, but his hand is full. Harrison Jones might be something that Killinallday is trying to bait out, so you may not want to use it right now, but his hand is very reactive. You can't get any value out of any of his cards right now, so it looks like he's going to go with the Northside Cleric and just cycle yet again, kind of waits to see when he wants to use it. This Holy Nova can actually be really key if he should draw a Light Bomb, because he can deal with patrons pretty strong. I mean, not a Light Bomb, but a Velen's Chosen. But we did see a Light Bomb drawn from the Power Word Shield, which is going to help with any board flood initiatives that the Grim Patron may want to take.
Definitely, and the Battle Rage going to be drawn out. Going to draw out some more cards for the Patron Warrior. I think he's looking for the Frozen Berserker on top of the Warsong Commander. I think that's what he's going for.
Yeah, he wants to get that combo out. 30 life is not safe for any player when you have Frothing Berserkers in your hand. Very interesting to see that he didn't damage his Armor Smith as well in order to draw that 3rd card, but it's still pretty safe. Or it's still a pretty strong play from Killinallday. He's got nothing but time pretty much, so he's not feeling like his life is under any threat. So he's just going to continue cycling, and if he can continue to do that, it's going to be very good turns for Killinallday, definitely.
Again, the 9-4 Priest just trying to see if he can react to anything. He could go in and do some stealing, but Light Bomb's not really going to be doing anything. Mind Control Tech going to be put down just to put down a body. And is this the way to really play against this deck? It's looking like there's no really reaction coming off from the Priest right now.
Yeah, he didn't get any value from that MC Tech, but he may not have been able to wait at this point. I mean, his hand was full, so he had to throw something out there. I wonder if it would have been better to throw out the Warsong Commander. We may never know. But a shield block drawn from our patron player. He's got the... He's going to go ahead and throw down that shield block. Continue to cycle, as we've discussed, is the primary game plan for the patron warrior until he can find that Warsong, that Emperor Thorsan, those types of cards that can just get out a very, very big combo and finish them in one turn.
Definitely, and as we do see, that's why we're going to go right into the mind control attack. Let's see what else is this priest going to do. For now, it's looking pretty good for the warrior Grim Patron. I mean, he hasn't drawn out to all the cards, but he has a lot of ways to keep on drawing in, especially with the Acolyte Pain could be developed next turn. Let's see what will actually happen, but it's a really good board in the sense that Killinallday is really looking at this priest deck, and he really knows what's happening right now.
Harrison Jones going to be dropped by the priest player in order to destroy that Death Spite, one of the premier weapons from the Grim Patrons. So you can, the priest feels assured that he got the most value out of this. Harrison Jones, the only thing he probably fears is that the second Death Spite may be coming, but we don't see that in Killinallday's hand right now.
Definitely not, unless if you want to be used up as well. Needed to cycle out more cards because he is at his limit. So the priest is actually in trouble in the sense that he's about to draw into fatigue, possibly.
A second Whirlwind is drawn by our warrior player, but still can't really do all that much with it. He does have two Grim Patrons. You don't really need to, so he may just throw one out there and bait out some sort of board clear. Grim Patron and a Whirlwind, for example, might be something that Killinallday is considering. It looks like he's just going to go with the Shield Slam, probably anticipating that as one of the bigger minions to deal with, and going to continue to play it patiently. This is a very interesting play. Maybe he's just worried about Shadow Madness having one of his Grim Patrons spawn another Grim Patron that he eventually has to deal with, as we all know. Grim Patron Warriors just don't really have that AoE clear that Control Warriors do with the card like Brawl. So.
Right.
Generally speaking, anyway, a Shadow Word Pain drawn by the priest player, however, and not all that useful at the moment, but he's just kind of sitting on cards waiting to do something, and this is the problem with the reactive deck. It doesn't really, if the opponent doesn't do anything, then in turn you can't do anything, and he has to burn this Nova now, Nova that he may not wanted to use, but Grim Patrons are hard to clear with Nova anyway, unless you can draw Velen's Chosen, for example.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, this is looking like it's probably going to go to a fatigue war, priest versus warrior. We're not going to go to an hour match because once someone gets a win condition, it's probably going to be win. Who do you favor at this moment for now?
Right now, just because no pressure has been put on the Patron Warrior, the Patron Warrior has all the advantage in the world, I feel. So he's just going to go ahead and save his resources. He's just going to wait it out. And once he gets those pieces, once he finds that Warsong Commander, that Emperor Thorsan, he's just going to go ahead and basically assert dominance and finish off his opponent. There's a Cabal Shadow Priest, which is pretty nice. He steals the Armor Smith and gets a big 4/5 body on the board. He already did see a Shield Slam played by Killinallday, so how does Killinallday respond to this? Does he feel like he needs to with 42 health? He can probably continue to sit on it, but he does have to play a card because his hand size is now full, having just drawn that Unstable Ghoul.
So we could see Execute even burn out for the 1/3 Armor Smith. That would be tough to see. Maybe even the Grim Patron put down because you don't really totally need to play out both Grim Patrons. But we do see the Acolyte Pain drop down.
Just wanting to cycle that Acolyte of Pain. It looks like he's going to go ahead and burn one of his Whirlwinds. He doesn't feel like he needs a million Whirlwind effects, I suppose. He's got the Unstable Ghoul already. He's really just looking for that Emperor, that War Song, and then eventually he'll be able to do enough. There's a Battle Rage again. He can cycle for 2, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. Let a slam drawn, but again, there's that Warsong Commander that's going to figure big into Killinallday's near-term plans, I would say.
Again, we did see a Warsong Commander still in the hand of Frankie, so we'll see what will happen for the Priest player.
Second Ascension Shield Master drawn by the Priest. Again, not exerting a lot of pressure, and a defense that's easily penetrated for the Patron player. All he just needs to use is a weapon and a couple of Whirlwinds. He doesn't necessarily need that Execute to get past it, and he can even use Grim Patrons to get past smaller taunts while feeding the Frothing Berserker a lot of damage. So
we're at 28 health for the Priest, still a ton of health for the Warrior. Acolyte Pain number 2 will be drawn up, but we're probably not going to be unleashing the Grim Patron anytime soon. Yeah,
he's just going to go with a slam, continue cycling. He's already got that Warsong Commander. He's looking for that Emperor at this point. Going to go ahead and use that second charge of the Fiery War Axe. And having seen the Harrison Jones. He can feel safe developing the Death Spite at this point, but maybe, I mean, some decks tech into oozes, especially for tournament play, or an ooze and a Harrison Jones, I should say.
And if it was an ooze, that would have been very devastating for the Death Spite, because there is only one more Whirlwind effect on top of the Unstable Goal, which could possibly get countered out. It's all dependent on what Killinallday is going to do. It's looking like he's looking more for the Emperor Thorson than it is anything else. On the other hand, Death Lord going to be plopped down. He tries to steal some more minions or try to take some of this board advantage and just forced out some of these cards coming out from Killinallday.
Yeah, Deathlord is an interesting minion. Doesn't really do all that much, but what is left in Killinallday's deck? Maybe a Frothing Berserker. We've seen an Acolyte of Pain already, or both Acolytes of Pain, I should say. Don't know what else he could have. Yeah, just other than another Frothing, maybe an Unstable, maybe another Armor Smith is really all that's left. Looks like he's going to spend one of these Warsong Commanders, forcing the player to use one of those AoEs, and he can actually go through this Warsong Commander, or I should say the Death Lord entirely, which is really good, and it's going to force the Priest player to have to use that Light Bomb. He's going to be pretty unhappy to do that.
What happens if Grommash comes out from this Death Lord? We'll find out. It is
it's going to be a
Frothing
Berserker.
That is actually a very devastating move right now onto this board.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the Frothing Berserker can't do all that much. He can do a Whirlwind and add about 7 more points of damage, but he loses all the Grims in the process, and his board state is actually full, so he wouldn't get anything extra.
Definitely not anything extra, but Shadow Menace, double Shadow Menace could actually clear out this Frothing Berserker. That was probably the worst card to get out from Death Lord, possibly.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think Killinallday is happy with this at all. He can do a Shadow Madness play into the 2-3 and probably eliminate the board with Death Lord aside from the Acolyte of Pain. And they actually usually use 2 Frothing Berserkers to OTK, usually, but that might be a little bit more difficult now that one of these Frothing Berserkers is out onto the board, which Killinallday didn't want to see. However, because he still has a Frothing Berserker, Grim Patron, and a Warsong Commander, he can still do things, some crazy things with Whirlwind effects and Emperor Thorson.
Yeah.
But I do see a Shadow Madness. It looks like he's going to work with the Grim Patron instead. I think it's still going to be the same. Going to jam into this 2-4. He gets his own Grim Patron, and then I should see... Oh, he's going to go with the Whirlwind that was drawn. I forgot that Whirlwind was drawn. He gets some Grim Patrons of his own. Looks like he's going to Shadow Madness yet again. Steal this Warsong Commander. I wonder if he should have done that first so he could get more charges off of his 3-3.
Possibly. We'll see what will happen. Oh, I actually could have just did a little bit more. That was an interesting play coming out from the Priest player. A little bit of a sequence here, probably.
A little slight or there's some sequencing issues, but now here's that Emperor Thorson. That Emperor Thorson can do a lot of work, but there are only 3 Whirlwind effects left with this Death Spite. He may develop the Emperor and Death Spite, get it started, and then make some big news.
He is also at 1 card right now, so Killinallday, he has, I mean, he has lots of health, 42 to be exact, but he's on a clock. He's about to go to fatigue, and once you go down to the fatigue, you're going to take damage slowly. Each card is going to hurt him more. I think you can
still kill him because the Grim Patron will produce about 12 damage or so, maybe, I think about 14 damage, and then the Frothing Berserker, with all the Whirlwind effects, should grow into enough damage. So I think he still has more than enough in his hand when Emperor is going to assist him.
Definitely. As we do see the Death Spite clear out the other Grim Patron on the board. Still have a Warsong Commander in the field to boot, if ever he needs to use that. But it's looking like it's going to be some grim time for Frankie.
Yeah, so we do see the Shadow Word Death. So he doesn't have to use the Light Bomb yet, but he still doesn't exactly have a good way to deal with the Warsong Commander on board. He definitely doesn't want to leave it there, knowing that a Frothing Berserker Grim Patron still exists, and even maybe another Unstable Ghoul. I think the last card in Killinallday's deck will be the second Unstable Ghoul, and he'll be able to jam all of those. He'll be able to play the Whirlwind. He'll be able to generate the Whirlwind effect from his Death Spite. So I think, or Killinallday should have more than enough damage to get lethal onto the Priest. I don't think there's much he can do. He's probably going to use the Senti Keel bot, just get himself up to 30. Can he get... It's in his best interest not to play a minion, to not feed the Whirlwind and, in effect, feed the Frothing Berserker. It looks like he'll just go with the Light Bomb anyway because he just couldn't clear the 2-1. But he's only going to be at 24. Does he have enough? He'll be able to punch him for 4. He'll be able to Grim Patron, Inner Rage, Warsong Commander, produce a lot, get that Frothing Berserker out. This should be enough.
This definitely should be enough. This could be the game, and it is probably going to be a game. Double Enrage to finish up the boot. On top of that, Froth and Berserker. They can have our first game won off of a long battle.
Very strong. Yeah, this definitely should be enough. The Grim Patron should be able to do about half of the work.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see the Grim Patron's going to get in that extra 5 damage in. And it's looking like the end is about to come in. Everyone get in here, says Killinallday, and everyone will finish it up. So many Grim Patrons, so many activations. Can everyone get in there? I don't know. I'm expecting the memes to come out in Twitch chat for this one. Yeah. Again, shout outs to all the people who are watching, and that was a clean sweep. Killinallday taking the first game of this Best of 5 series.
Absolutely, and Killinallday just looking confident, and that's one of the problems with reactive decks, is especially when going up against a combo deck like Grim Patron. They can just wait and continue to cycle, get all those pieces, and eventually they'll be able to do what they need to finish you off.
Do what they need to do to finish you off. That is the name of the game in Hearthstone, and hopefully we'll get that into play. Sounds like we're about to get into the second game, actually. What do you think is going to be the next deck that we're going to see?
So, the Patron is now gone for Killinallday. It sounds like Frankie is going to stick with the Priest, and Hunter is going to be the next choice for Killinallday. Generally, Hunter or Priests do very well against Hunters. Much better against Face, not so good against mid-range necessarily, but we'll see what Killinallday has brought as far as Hunter archetype. We already are pretty familiar with what Frankie has.
Yeah, definitely, as we do see Killinallday drawing up. Right now, he does have the Amcan, Mad Scientist, Harrison Jones, and the Houndmaster. So a pretty slow hand, but it will curve out in the end.
Yeah, a wonderful start, actually. He's got that Mad Scientist into Animal Companion. He may or may not be able to activate this Houndmaster. It all depends on how Animal Companion, or what Animal Companion generates. Most likely, Animal Companion will stick onto the board given what Frankie has at the moment. And he's going to go with the Haunted Creeper instead. He wants that guaranteed minion instead of Animal Companion, which could be dealt with by Shadow Word Pain, which can be dealt with by Unholy Smite or something like that. Ascension Shieldmaster will be played by the Priest in order to go ahead and block any short-term offensive plans by the Hunter player. And yeah, the Hunter is going to go ahead and use Houndmaster to go ahead and eliminate this and maintain his 3-1 on the board. But he does have a Shadow Mana, so he'll be able to steal that Death Rattle. But what is the trap? It's probably a freezing trap, so he's just going to get that 1-2 back. This 4-3 is going to dominate the board for at least the short term. But at least... Oh, it's a Snake Trap!
Snake Boys, as we do see that trade out right there.
Yeah,
that's a little bit aggressive, don't you think?
Yeah, Snake Traps is definitely extremely interesting, but we do see a Mind Control tech in the Priest's hand, so he might be able to get value out of it sooner rather than later. What is Killinallday going to do? He has the option to develop Loatheb in order to prevent spells for the short term. He's got that Harrison Jones. Animal Companion could be really good should he get a Leok or something like that, but Leok is actually kind of scary because of Cabal Shadow Priest. So he's going to go with the Loatheb, prevent any spell casting. He knows that the strongest thing that can come out is Holy Nova, but he decides to trade his snakes into the 1/1s anyway.
It's free trade. You probably want to do that. I mean, there is a possibility that he got the 2 damage in, and he would have been paid in dividend with that Mind Control tech. So good stuff coming out from Killinallday. Frankie going to be playing out the Sludge Belchers, trying to slow down the board. I mean, it looked like it was a really strong hand. He had double Shield Master, and then he drawed into the Sludge Belcher. So he's slowing down the game enough. Is it really working out, though?
Yeah, I mean, he still has to deal with this Loatheb, which he doesn't really have a great way to do. He's got a Light Bomb, I guess, so he can do something with that. Eagle Horn Bow is going to be developed here in order to kill off the slime generated from the Sludge Belcher. Still has quite an imposing board, and AoE is not going to be as powerful on this anymore, right? Because the Haunted Creeper is now played. So Holy Nova all of a sudden leaving 2 1/1s, but a lot of health for the Priest to work with. Not really that scary, and the Cabal Shadow Priest will be played to steal that 1-2. Probably one of the better targets other than Leok.
Definitely not Leok in this one, but we could get another Leok, could get some things coming on. Or we could play our favorite 7-card costed card.
Yeah, Dr. Boom, probably one of the best cards to play. When you have 7 mana and you can play Dr. Boom, even if it is removed, you don't lose all that much because you still have the Boom bots doing some work. So, and actually, Killinallday playing very much around mind control tech. He is getting rid of all his minions so that he doesn't get MC tech. He knows that Frankie plays MC tech. He saw it in the last game, so doesn't want that risk. And a light bomb going to be used to remove this because he doesn't have a Shadow Word Death. That's the big loss of AoE.
And it's going to give 5 damage right back to the priest. So Dr. Boom did effectively clear out everything. Always Huffer, it seems like, for Killinallday.
Yep, there's that animal companion. And is he going to play the second animal companion? You know Shadow Madness does exist in Frankie's deck. Although one has been played, should a Leok be generated, for example, animal companion can do a lot of damage. So he's going to go with the Harrison Jones instead, develops a stronger board presence. Doesn't have to use that hero power yet. And he knows that the Light Bomb has just been played, so it's going to be very difficult for Frankie to remove this. There's a Shadow Word Death just drawn, and a Death Lord as well. Death Lord can definitely do a lot of work on this Huffer. Unfortunately,
You would say so, but
there is a Hunter's Mark in Killinallday's hand. Hunter's Mark should be able to wipe it out pretty clean, and even a kill command. He may want to save that Huffer and just kill command. He can get Savannah Highmane. He's yet to draw Savannah Highmane, so there's a very good chance he's gonna go with the. Gets that Leon. He's going to go with that Hunter's Mark. I wonder if he sacrifices his fight. No, he's going to go and sacrifice the kill command. He's going to get a new minion in the process. Is it going to be Savannah Highmane? That was going to be a juggler. So, but still a ton of pressure, and an MC Tech cannot be used. He does have that Shadow Madness, though. He can take out 2 of these minions. Which one does he choose to remove? Is it going to be the Knife Juggler? Is it going to be the Huffer?
Could be some interesting plays. Could use the Shadow Madness to actually, yeah, it's interesting.
He goes Shadow Madness into Senjin Shieldmaster, preventing his face from getting hit at this point. He can go Cabal Shadow Priest, but that might be a little bit ambitious, I think, because if he goes with that, he only has 3 more mana to work with. And he takes
especially with like no cards in hand coming out from Killinallday. This is pretty dire for him actually right now.
Right. Oh, there's the Savannah skill main, you guys. There he is. That big 6'5" and going face, Smorks.
Sporks. And we're doing to the esport mind control tech.
And the mind control is huge, actually, because Killinallday is running out of steam. He doesn't have any cards. All he may have in his deck is a quick shot, possibly. But this 3-2 should be likely going down because he would be afraid of kill command. Or not kill command, but Unleash the Hounds, I should say, rather. But Frankie in a commanding position now, he can heal himself away, or basically nullifying the hero power from the Hunter. And he's got, got Cabal Shadow Priest. He's got things to steal. And generally, if you got cards and you got board presence, you're generally in a position to win, even if his health total is a little bit low. Killinallday will need something of a miracle, like a quick shot into hero power, into maybe the second kill command, I think would be a draw that he would prefer.
Second kill command, probably go for the... there's just so many things that could happen for the Hunter. Unleash the Hounds?
There's that Unleash the Hounds, so those knives aren't going anywhere because, well, that Knife Juggler is now down. Going to go ahead and save it, try to see if Frankie will develop more board, and it is a priority now for Frankie to continue healing himself. Going to go ahead and protect this taunt because his life total is just that important. Here's a Thought Steal. Does he want to develop more board? He can get 9 damage across right now, putting the Hunter at 18.
4 health instead of 3. That's really good. Even if he puts down the Savannah or the Savannah Windrunner or the
Cabal Shadow Priest, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many things that are going to be working for this priest right now. It's looking quite good. Savannah Highmane hitting face. It's always the place, right? That's the winning condition supposedly, but we'll see if Knife Juggler comes right back.
The second Knife Juggler is drawn, and he's got the Unleash the Hounds. Can he get through the taunt and get enough damage across to potentially draw a quick shot into kill command or a quick shot into kill command? We don't know if Killinallday is even playing quick shot in his deck. And those knives are not going face. Rexar is not proud right now of this Knife Juggler.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. That's what I'm hearing right now, and it's unfortunate for Killinallday. It's looking pretty grim. Oh, my control tech.
Yes.
To push that up even more.
And MC Tech, if he steals a Knife Juggler, that could be devastating. He's not going to use the top decked one in order to do some psychological work on his opponent. But he's going to go ahead and heal himself because that is a priority for the Priest. He knows that the Hunter does have some burn left in his deck. So healing minions not going to be what he wants to do. He's going to go with the Thought Steal for his draw first. And he gets the Eagle Horn Bow and the Freezing Trap. So he knows an Eagle Horn Bow still exists in his opponent's deck, which he should be aware of.
would you trade in Sylvanas to actually trade into the little doggies just because, you want to be safe from a possible double top deck?
Right, definitely.
But he goes for the mind control deck. Gets the unfortunate one.
Yeah, he needs to seal these beasts. If he should draw a quick shot into a kill command, this would be absolutely devastating. Still setting himself up for a lethal the next turn. A wonderful position, and can't even be killed by a charger in the event that he draws like an owl and a Leroy or something like that. And Killinallday just whiffing on the Houndmaster. It's not going to be enough. And the series is going to be tied up 1-1. Frankie getting a little bit of redemption with his priest deck, his 9-4 priest deck. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the really big thing. It's the priest deck that's very not played at all. It's popular in the China region, right?
Yeah.
That's what I hear. But starting that out for your best of 5 series, it's sort of a risk, right?
It's very interesting. I mean, Priest, the reason why it's not so good on the ladder is because it has a very difficult time adjusting for both aggro and control decks. It's very slow, doesn't have a good way of finishing off opponents. But in a tournament setting, Priest can be very good. Priest can be adjusted for aggressive decks. It can be adjusted for control decks. It has some of the best tools available to them.
Definitely. And we are going to see the next match coming up. We're going to have to see the switch up for Frankie. Seems like it's going to be Druid.
Frankie going with the Druid. Not sure if it's ramp or double combo, but it has a piloted Shredder, which is more indicative of combo than... But, I mean, piloted Shredder is just one of the best 4-drops in the game. Killinallday sticking with the mid-range Hunter. Mid-range Hunter can do a lot of work, but it really depends on if they can draw Savannah High Main or not.
Savannah High Main get that early card draw advantage. Again, Druid has to draw into Wild Growth to be supposedly a really, really good Druid player. That's why I hear that really starts it off. Toshly bringing out for the Druid.
Toshly, yeah. Toshly is very interesting. Not sure what he plans on doing with the spare parts. Its body is really nice, 5/7. Deals with a lot of the peskier minions like Emperor Thorsan, for example. There's a lot of crazy 5 health minions out there. Lotheb also. And can 2 for 1, right? So it's just pretty good.
Definitely a 2-for-1. Knife Driller with the coin. Double Knife Juggler is probably the possible play setup for Killinallday.
Yes, pretty strong. Knife Juggler is always one of the scarier cards to play for a Hunter against Druid, just because it's so easily responded to by Wrath, as opposed to like a Mad Scientist or a Haunted Creeper, which can consistently get damage. Fortunately for Frankie, or for Killinallday, he didn't actually have that response, and a Freezing Trap is going to do a lot of work, because now this piloted Shredder is neutralized, and this Knife Juggler is just going to get damage in turn after turn after turn.
So we're just going to hold off with the Paladin Shredder. He did draw in the Keeper of the Grove, so that's going to be an answer for the first Knife Juggler. Don't think the second one's going to be coming up anytime soon. Animal Companion to the play?
Animal Companion is on curve. He gets the Leok, and the knife lands on the piloted Shredder. Not going to go ahead and kill that right now, but gets 4 damage across anyway, and the Keeper of the Grove should be coming down onto the Knife Juggler. Unfortunately, what Frankie is fearing is that this Leon can get buffed by Houndmaster, and there's no real good answer to that right now.
Definitely no good answer. We'll see what will happen. Looks like Frankie's having some technical issues as well, so we'll see what will happen for him. Keeper of the... And we do see the Keeper of the Grove still hit up Knife Juggler. Nice stuff coming out.
He's going to go ahead and activate this Freezing Trap off so that he can kill this Leok before the Houndmaster comes down.
And X marks the spot. That's what I heard.
X marks the spot. So T3, vanilla T3, a general drop from the piloted Shredder. Not not the best, not the worst, but something that you should expect. And a piloted Shredder will be played by Killinallday. But now all of a sudden, the Druid does have some control of this board. He can't really deal with the piloted Shredder too effectively right now, so he's probably just going to ignore it. He does have that Force of Nature Savage Roar. He's got a great curve with Toshly and Dr. Boom, so he definitely can take initiative. And the best thing for Killinallday right now would be Knife Juggler to Unleash the Hounds. He does have that Knife Juggler, but he does not have that Unleash the Hounds.
No Unleash the Hounds, like you said. He does have the Hunter's Mark if you want to try to clear out some boards. I mean, again, with Druid, you always have to be careful when they overload the board. You could just die really quickly, even from just 1 or 2 Savage Roars. So very, very, very careful for Killinallday. Again, he won the first game. He's having a little bit of trouble with this mid-range Hunter yet again. We'll see what he wants to choose from this, though. Right.
Killinallday doesn't have can't really put himself in an offensive position right now. He knows that Savage Roar is very scary. Knife Juggler, the second Knife Juggler will be played, so it won't be all that good anymore. with Unleash the Hounds, but Druid doesn't need to flood the board anyway, and if they do get to flood the board, you're generally losing anyway.
He was thinking about using the Hunter's Mark to
Yes, he was hovering over that, so...
Ooh. Tough times.
Here comes a Force of Nature. I wonder how he decides to use this Force of Nature. Does he kill the Knife Juggler, kill the other 2/2, and then use that to proc the Freezing Trap, or does he kill everything on the board and then...
Proc the Freezing Trap with the Bloodsail Recorder, Corsair. Yeah, it could happen. Let's see what's the choices for Frankie off of this one. It's looking like the development for Frankie's board is going really well.
It is. I mean, he's got that Dr. Boom with the Savage Roar as well, so that can be extremely good. We do know that there's also a Snake Trap in Killinallday's deck, so that might be something he's fearing. Tries to get rid of the Piloted Shredder. Is he going to just leave the Mad Scientist up? So he doesn't have to worry about that secret later. Maybe so.
Possibly. We can still see the trade coming out from that secret, so that's pretty... Whoa, unstealthing.
He's going to go ahead and unstealth this, exposing it to potential Unleash the Hounds play, but getting rid of the board, and that sounds pretty good. And he does know that it is a Snake Trap. He was going to actually proc that with Freezing.
Oof.
Oh, Savannah Highmane on 6. This is exactly what Killinallday needed to draw in order to get himself back into the game. Dr. Boom going to be an incredible response, however. And he is still more in the racing position, I would say. So Frankie doesn't feel like he needs to trade with Savannah Highmane. Even if Savannah Highmane gets a 6th attack, he can still set himself up for a Savage Roar kill. So if Dr. Boom is played, which I imagine he will, Killinallday is definitely going to want to find a Unleash the Hounds, or he's going to have to Hunter's Mark this 7-1, which he's going to have to spend a kill command. Or he's going to have to Hunter's Mark the Dr. Boom, which he's going to have to kill command. And even then, he's going to feel quite scared.
Yeah, definitely with the card not really drawing out for Killinallday at the moment. He has to really look forward to probably his next draw. Hopefully it is Unleash the Hounds. That's what he's probably looking for. Because if it is going to be Dr. Boom going down. Right.
And Frankie does know that both Knife Jugglers have been played, so he's not afraid from that standpoint. And he's going to go ahead and set the aggression, basically set up a Savage Roar lethal, and that Lotheb is going to not be all that good just because Savage Roar is still going to be 8 mana. He's going to have 7, 8, 15, 16 plus 12 from Savage Roar, so more than enough to kill him with Savage Roar. But Lotheb cannot be paired with Kill Command, which is also something that's concerning. Should he have been able to remove the Dr. Boom, then he would have been able to finish him off.
Do you see the Kill Command going down? And this sound's going to be on to the Shade and Naxxramas. It's not going to grow up any more power, but this is still dangerous times.
Very dangerous. 4 damage on the board for Frankie, plus 8 from Savage Roar, so only 6 damage off lethal. And you see that Savannah Highmane actually had to trade down with a measly 2/2. Like, you don't usually see that, but that's how scary Savage Roar is as a card. Gonna go ahead and cycle aggressively, and there is a swipe. 4 damage on the board right now. Can put him down to 14. He could activate the Snake Trap right now and go ahead and get rid of those snakes if he really wanted to, or he can just continue to stay aggressive, but he does fear that Unleash the Hound top deck, I think, and that's something that Frankie is considering as he contemplates his play.
Definitely, and as we do see, the last turn for Killinallday, he had to trade into a minion, so possibly that's another way of saying, hey, maybe we can play a Toshli, kind of fit in more damage per se, or even go for the Shade and Naxxramas. It's just very close to lethal, and Killinallday is feeling all the pressure. Frankie, gonna get the rope burn, rope coach, maybe possibly in a second. Shade and Naxxramas going to put down, and the face.
Frankie going for the face. He knows that the Shade cannot be killed because unless an explosive trap is set, and even then, he knows that the Knife Juggler is not there. So he's got more than enough damage. He's got 5, 6, 7 plus 5 or plus 10. So yeah, that's going to be 17. He's got to find a way to remove these minions off the board, and he's going to have to use the Savannah Highmane to clear little 2/2s because he knows Savage Roar can just make those minions way more devastating than they should be. Oh, and that Boombot going off for 4. That is huge, and a quick shot's going to be used to clear this 2/2, but it's not going to be enough. The Savage Roar should still give him enough damage. That's 4 plus 6, which will be 10. Savage Roar can be played for 8 mana. You can also just use Swipe. No, Swipe would not be enough because he can
it could be enough. You just have to get the Dr. Boom RNG.
Yeah,
Boombot RNG is 100%, right?
Yeah, Boombot, trust the Boombots, but he's going to go with the guaranteed way to finish him off with the Savage Roar, and that's going to be 10 damage.
And it's going to be 10 damage, and Frankie's going to take a game number 3 for this best of 5. It's looking like the legend of Killinallday is going to come in. Both players, really quickly, had it come down during the playoffs, 0-2 up to win out their series. So, you know, anything could happen still. Killinallday, again, the rank 1 legend from April. We'll see if he can actually really do anything for this one, but it's looking pretty good for Frankie, especially seeing the mid-range hunter, seeing the techs, and seeing how everything's working out for them.
Right. In the Conquest format, though, it's a little bit different. Reverse sweeps are a little more common. So, yeah, and the next match is going to be started, and sounds like Killinallday switched over to his appearing to be a tempo mage, and Frankie's bringing out his Grim Patron Warrior, which is the last deck he needs to win. I think he can feel pretty confident having to take one of 2 to finish to do it with Grim Patron, one of the strongest decks in the game.
One of the strongest decks, I guess everyone says it's number 1 in many tier lists. Tempo Storm or not, where you can become legendary, or even in Archon or Liquid Hearth. It's looking like Frankie, he's visualizing his win while Killinallday. He's in a little world of hurt, but he has something.
He's got that double mana worm. That is pretty powerful. There's no Fiery War Axe. He can do some magic with that, but does he want to accelerate into his Flame Waker, or does he just want to put the pressure on now? And it looks like he's going to go with just the single mana worm. Trying to test to see if that Fiery War Axe is in the hand before going, I guess, ham, as some people might say.
Ham to the face. It's the right place.
Right?
Going to the base,
place.
right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I can hear this from Killinallday. I mean, he was playing this Hunter, did decently well, but it's just has been a letdown each and every time during the mid game. While on the other hand, do you see the development of a Clockwork Gnome and another Mana Worm? He's trying to go for some big plays with that Flame Walker on turn 3, it looks like.
That's what it sounds like. He's got the Flame Waker, Coin, and Arcane Missiles, so that will be 4 guaranteed shots at least, and then he can also buff these Mana Worms, which right now Frankie doesn't have a guaranteed way to kill. He does have that Slam, however, so the Slam can definitely eliminate one of those Mana Worms. That might be enough. Maybe he just is going to be satisfied with taking out this 2-1. Not quite sure, and it's going to be interesting to see what he chooses to do. I definitely think a Slam is in the works. Whether or not he decides to use... Oh, he's going to go with the Tempo Frothing instead. This is an interesting play because it can be removed quite easily, and the Flame Waker might actually be able to do it himself. We'll see.
There might be a lot of armor coming out from the armor smith pretty soon, but even the reversing switch could be useful. Don't think that's going to be the usefulness that Killinallday is going to actually do. Flame Worker going to come out, and it is the coin on top of Arcane Missiles.
I would assume so. That's 7 shots. That's almost an Avenging Wrath. And 1 shot is taken by the Armor Smith. The other shot taken by the Flame Waker. The Arcane Missiles is going to come down. He might be able to clear the board entirely and keep these Mana Worms up. One of these Arcane Missiles goes to the face, and the second one goes to the face. That is not certainly what Killinallday did not want to see. He's going to have to sacrifice one of these Mana Worms as a result, but that's still fine. He still has an amazing board, and at this point, Killinallday is wondering, does Frankie have a Death Spite? He's going to find out that he doesn't.
Tough, never lucky.
Never lucky.
Never lucky. Slam, it's going to be useful though. Could cycle out a card or probably play on curves, get that Nimbus from Victory. I mean, the board's still not as devastating since we did have to sacrifice one of the Mana Worms.
Yeah, it's not too crazy. He's got the Slam execute. He may just decide to develop the No Mission better anyway. It's just a 2-4 and a 3-3. He's seen the Coin and an Arcane Missiles. He doesn't have a Sorcerer's Apprentice, so he's not going to go crazy with spellcasting. It looks like he's still not happy with this Flame Waker though and wants to get rid of it right away. So rather than develop the Gnomish Fencer. And minions kind of come at a premium anyway for the Grim Patron as it stands.
Mirror Entity going to be developed, and Mana Worm still going to put in more damage. Possible reversing switch could have gotten 1 more health for the Mana Worm, but definitely want to use that for the Archmage Antonitis that we see in the hand of Killinallday.
Frankie, very, very displeased that he can't find the weapon at all.
Gets the Mirror Entity down. Nimbus Feather going to come out, and it's 6 damage on the board for Killinallday. He could just go straight face and keep it going onto there, or could possibly trade out. What do you think, though?
It looks like he is going to go with a trade before it gets removed cleanly by a weapon. He still feels like his board presence is still pretty good. A lot of pressure being put on Frankie at the moment. There's an unstable goal, which can effectively just remove this Mana Worm. but Garrosh might be frozen forever. Emperor Thorsen is now an option, but this is not exactly the hand you want to cheapen with Emperor Thorsen. I mean, you do have the Warsong Commander, but you don't have anything else. Maybe if you had a Grim Patron, you might feel okay with it, but he doesn't actually have that either, so. And he's facing down, not to mention 7, 9 damage with the Fireball, 15, plus that getting buffed, 16, so his life total is definitely not very safe either.
No, it can't be really armoring up right now. Stable Gold probably would be the safer play, but the greedy / need to get back into this game, the Emperor Thorsen probably is the play I would do for Frankie, even though he does have a lot of draw opportunities soon. And, well, he's going to go off in another way. Acolyte Pain and Unstable Gold is looking like the play. He's thinking really hard. This is a really important turn, and he actually puts down the Thorsen.
He feels like this is his only way to win. He needs to top deck something big, though, like a Grim Patron in order to make this happen. And even if he top decks Grim Patron at 5 mana, he can still play the War Song. Definitely feed off of this no mission Venser and still do a lot of work against it, so could be pretty big.
We'll go back to this point because I think this is a very clutch moment for Killinallday and in this match. We'll see how we can go through this. We do have a Sorcerer's Apprentice. We're primed up, ready to go. Could go straight to the face. Oh.
Sorcerer's Apprentice with the fire, bringing the Fireball and the Heat, and he could even reversing switch his Water Elemental to bring even additional damage and really put the... Oh, he's going to go with the 4-2. He's not even going to allow Grim Patron to be a play instead of freezing the 3-6. And he's frozen too, so this is really difficult.
The Whirlwind drawn out, but is that going to really be enough? I mean, he can clear out the Mana Worm. That's going to buy him a little bit more time. He can actually draw some cards too. He's
going to do it with the Unstable Goal because that's going to be a Whirlwind too. Punch into the 3-6 and Whirlwind after that. So basically effectively eliminating the board. He's going to even bring out the Acolyte to draw yet another card. And so only this 3-6 is doing damage now. So this is definitely recovery.
Definitely recovery. Plus the Battle Rage is going to allow him to draw more cards.
Yes.
Grim Patron just drawn out for the next card right after, though. That's very tough to see for Frankie.
Oh, but he draws a second Warsong Commander. That could be pretty big, and he's going to have to use this Whirlwind. Some damage wasted onto the Water Elemental because he was able to eliminate the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and I'd have to figure that he wanted to eliminate this No Mission Vener as well, and he's going to be able to, when he uses a Whirlwind, it's a Whirlwind that he's not too happy using. Oh, interesting. It looks like maybe he'll just use his Acolyte Pain instead and save this Whirlwind. Yeah. But these are Whirlwinds he's not going to be able to use for at least another turn if he wants to bring out the Warsong Commander and the Grim Patron.
We gotta go soon. The rope is burning. And we do see the Acolyte Pain going to be burned out from this one. Water Elemental still alive. Arcane Intellect drawn out. Or could seen a setup turn for Archmage Antonidas, but since we did see the Battle Rage just come down, there's a lot of draw.
This is true. There's that mirror image. He can use that next turn for sure.
Unstable Portal Wisp. Is that what we're hoping for?
Yeah, you know, Wisp, all of our favorite cards, you know. Infinite value.
Infinite value.
2 stats for 0 mana. 2 divided by 0, as we all know, is infinity. So,
yeah.
Wisp might be the best card in the game.
But it's actually a Robo Cup, so kind of still bad luck, I guess, for that one, but not so bad. Let's see what is actually going to be played out. He knows trade into the Warsong Commander.
He knows he's got to get rid of that Warsong Commander before the Grim Patrons proliferate, so to speak. But he's got that anodized Robocop to put a little bit more pressure on. Does he want to keep that face frozen for life? No, it appears he doesn't want to. Still putting a lot of pressure on, though. I mean, he's at 8. He's got 6 damage on the board. He can top deck a Frostbolt or anything like that. And he puts the Robocub at 3-2 instead of 2-3 because he knows Patrons can feed off of it.
Grim Patron, everyone will get in there. I had a little discussion before with some of the HSL staff over here. Grim Patron or Dr. Boom for the expansion, what do you think has been the more bigger card for the set?
Well, Grim Patron was in BRM, and Dr. Boom has been really powerful in itself, but Grim Patron has been able to enable plenty of combos that have just been absolutely devastating, and it looks like he's just going to go ahead and build a really big board that's going to be extremely difficult to deal with. Interaging, and this is a power play by Frankie. You do have that Archmage Antonidas and the Mirror Image, though, but that's only going to be 1 Fireball, and he's going to be armoring up every turn. He's going to go for it, though. He feels like that's his only way to win.
It definitely seems like it right now. There is 12 damage on the board. Going to be able to clear out most of everything. Unstable Goal on top of the Warsong Commander will enable more people to get in here.
He will, and he should be able to eliminate the Archmage Antonidas at the same time, even if he doesn't have Execute, so to speak. He should be able to, use the 3-3s to kill the mirror images, and then use the 3-1 to eliminate. Make more 3-3s to kill the 5-7. So all he's got is a fireball, but he hasn't used a frostbolt yet, so that's something he could draw. And even then, that'll still be enough because he does have the hero power too. So having no armor smith is a little bit difficult for Frankie, although he did spend it earlier in the game.
Yeah, as a response because he did not draw into the Fiery Wind Axe, Fire War Axe, which he has now. So it's a thing. He's going to put down more pressure, more damage, and actually going to try to be able to kill off Antonidas right now.
Archmage is going to go down, going to go ahead and sacrifice this, making 3 more patrons, using one of the patrons to clear out the Archmage Antonidas while using the rest to go face. Killinallday still has a Fireball, I think, left in his deck, and 2 Frostbolts. So he's got to draw one of those 3 cards in order to win the game right now, or it may just be over. There's a mad scientist. I guess the Unstable Portal could provide him with a Corcoran Elite or something, or Leroy Jenkins. He needs to draw one of those from Unstable because it's going to be over otherwise, and Killinallday's run is going to be over here at the High School Star League Finals.
Yeah, he will fall down to the 3rd place match. It's a Grove Tender.
But it can draw him a card, and it's free. Does he get it's an Arcane Intellect, and even if he gets the Frostbolt, it actually wouldn't be enough at this point. And a little bit late is that second Fireball. It's a bit unfortunate for Killinallday. His run ends disappointingly, I think, to the Grim Patron Warrior. But again, a lot of talent. Killinallday has done a lot of stuff on the ladder. He's achieved really good things, but
it's just not your way with Hearthstone sometimes.
Yeah.
I can see it coming now, and congrats again to Frankie. Frankie Yang going to be able to pick up the win for this one today.
Yeah.
First semifinalist, going in the finals now.
Yeah, amazing play, and wrapping up for Texas is Frankie, and we're gonna have like a winners interview.
Yeah, in just a few seconds, but it looks like we're probably gonna go right to break. I believe so. We're actually gonna go to the stage right now. So,
okay. So to Olive, and he's gonna interview Frankie, our recent victor in the first match for the semifinals. Hearthstone semifinals, High School Star League, yeah.
Are we up? No, you're good. I'm trying to ask them. Broden, are we up? Tom? Are we up? We're good? Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, Frankie, that was a great set of games. How do you feel?
Oh, I was really nervous, honestly.
Yeah? So I see you have your notebook, and you were like scribbling in it some of the times. What do you have in it? Like, what are you writing in it?
I was just counting cards.
Counting cards? Like blackjack. Awesome, that's actually really cool. Well, so our next few games we're playing with Anon and Just Golden. Which one of those would you rather play in the finals?
Neither of them?
Neither of them.
Really good.
Okay, so you're just gonna try to sneak your way through. All right, I get you. All right, well that was Frankie, and he will be playing on Wednesday in our Hearthstone Grand Finals. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll be back with the game between Anon Beta and Just Golden.